But then we got introduced the guardians of each island. And Akala Island's Tapu is Tapu Lele, which is a psychic fairy with psychic surge. Now this is it's a weird looking Pokemon, and I love how it says the battlefield got weird. I love how it said, wait, hold up, no. Yeah, battlefield got weird. Like, they couldn't say like, oh, the battlefield became enveloped in a spiritual aura or a psychic aura or something. No, they just said, yo, shit got really weird. Shit got really weird. And in its psychic terrain, basically what it does is that it prevents priority moves. When I was watching the trailer at first, I was thinking it either blocks, because you see this Raticate either using, Raticate trying to use Sucker Punch, and the psychic terrain kind of protects Tapu Lele. So I was thinking like it either blocks priority moves or it blocks dark type moves, which would make total sense because dark types are super effective against psychic types, right? I'm sorry for the little bumping on the mic. But Psychic Fairy, this looks like a pretty okay defensive type Pokemon. I believe if I'm talking about the right Tapu, this is the one that's probably going to be the most like utility based or defensive out of the Tapus, because it doesn't like to worry about necessarily beating the opponent. It just doesn't want to lose, so it basically just wants to outlast the enemy as opposed to full on defeating it. Let me see. Yeah, illnesses or injuries. Yeah, this is definitely a utility Pokemon, and especially with that psychic terrain, that's just crazy. But I do want to go back. Its cry is really awesome. All the Tapus have really cool cries, and so we see here that like it's located here in this like kind of temple place. I'm assuming that Tapu Koko, since he's a first island deity and he's like he's on the first island that we start on, meeting him is going to be a more special encounter than meeting the Tapus. Kind of like Mesprit out of the Lake Trio, or Suicune out of the Legendary Beast, or who else? Or maybe Virizion out of the Secret Swords, whatever their little title is, the Swords of Justice. There you go. But yeah, this thing looks like it's gonna be really fat. I'm seeing it's gonna get Uxie stats, probably good like 120 defense and special defense, low special attack, pretty decent. I'm sorry, HP. Kind of, my mind just kind of like blanked there. And I just like the bodies of these Tapu Pokemon. Like, these are shells. These guys have shells, and it looks like this thing, like if it closes its head, maybe it's like a gourd of sorts. Because Tapu Koko kind of looks like a bird, kind of like a weird bird thing whenever it closes its shell and it puts its arms together. But then you see Tapu Lele here, and it's got kind of like this little. It just looks like a giant gourd. It looks like something, I don't know. It looks like a teacup or something. I don't know. Actually, that's probably what I'll name it. I'll name it teacup. But yeah, there's not much else information that we get. It gets Nature's Madness. All the Tapus get this. Basically, it's like Super Fang, but we don't know if it does half damage of the remaining HP or of the total HP of the offending Pokemon. It probably also is going to get Wish. But going on to Ula Ula Island's Guardian, we have Tapu Bulu, and this guy, holy shit, this guy is looking mean. He's weird. He's weird looking. I will give him that. I'm not gonna say like he's got an ugly design or anything like that, but he's just weird. He's just a weird looking Pokemon. Like, what? I don't know, the hooves, and then it looks like he's flexing, but he's got hooves and not fists. I don't know, and he's got like a little cowbell for a tail. I don't know, it's weird. And his horns are wooden, but this guy is a grass fairy. He's joining Morlul in that little quad weakness to poison, but he looks like he's going to be pretty defensive. I'm really seeing, like, I look at this guy, and I literally see, what's his name? Go-Goat. That's what I think of. I think of Go-Goat. He's probably going to have high defense, hella high attack. I'm seeing this guy having probably like 130 attack or something. Just stupid high attack. Grass types do get some good HP stats, so he's probably going to have a really high HP stat too. Probably like 80 to 100 base HP. You do see him getting Horn Leech. He'll probably get Leech Seed. You know, all those utility grass moves, except for I don't think he'll get Aromatherapy, just because he's not that kind of utility. He's like an off tank of a Pokemon, if anything. You know, he can take maybe like 1 or 2 good hits, but he's gonna body bag at least 1 to 2 Pokemon while he's on the field live. So that's really interesting. He gets Grassy Surge, which brings up Grassy Terrain, and I don't think I actually went completely into detail about the Psychic Terrain. No, I did. I'm sorry. But I want to check out what the Grassy Terrain from Grassy Surge does, because I think it does something a little bit different than what normal Grassy Terrain normally does. And I think it heals anything that's on the ground. They can't get status effects or something like that. Let's see. Boosting the power of any grass type moves used by the Pokemon on the ground, restoring its HP. Oh yeah, and it halves attacks from ground type moves. Oh wait. No, it just says it also halves the damage from the moves Earthquake, Magnitude, and Bulldoze. I think those are the only physical ground type moves in the first place, except for Bone Club, Bone Rush. But I mean, still, I can go into this thing. I can Grassy Surge with Tapu Bulu, go out into Tapu Koko, and he's gonna take neutral damage from an Earthquake. It'd be cool if Tapu Koko could get. Actually, no, that's a bad example because freaking because when it enters the field, Electric Terrain happens. Maybe Raichu, not Alolan Raichu, just regular Raichu. I lead out with my Tapu Bulu, get that Grassy Terrain up against a Landorus T, and I'm like, oh shit, well, he's gonna do something. I'm sorry about that, my phone just went off. And he's gonna go for like an Earthquake or something, or no, this is what I could do. Look at this, listen to me, I'm already going through Sun and Moon competitive. That is what's hilarious. Now, I'm sorry. Tapu Bulu, I could open up with him, get that Grassy Surge up, and then swap into Raichu, and I'll be able to tank an Earthquake from a Lando T, and I can body bag it with an HP Ice. That's a pretty good ability. You don't really see much else from Tapu Bulu, but look at that. He looks like he's ready to just brawl the fuck out. And I like the new animation for Horn Leech too. Then we get Pony Island's Guardian, Tapu Fini. We got a Water Fairy joining. Who else is Water Fairy? Oh, Popplea. Popplea's evolution, Primarina. And I feel like there's another Water Fairy out there, but I can't really think of it. I'm pretty sure. And I was saying yesterday that I was kind of disappointed in the typings of the Tapus, because since they're legendary Pokemon, or at least Pokemon of legend, not necessarily legendary, but you know, they're guardians, they're deities, they're, you know, above your everyday run-of-the-mill, you know, Young Goose, Gumshoos, or even something as powerful as like a Garchomp or something. It's above that. And I thought they were going to get unique typings, but instead they got typings that a lot of Pokemon this generation are getting. Like with Tapu Koko, we get Electric Fairy, and there's Alolan Raichu. Or wait, fuck. No, Electric Fairy is the first of its kind. It is. I'm pretty sure. You know, don't quote me on that. But anyway, going into Tapu Fini, we do see that it gets Misty Surge. This one definitely has the best cry out of all the Tapus. It's like nice and mystical, getting up in there with the Aurora's cry, the Milotic cry, even the whoop. And look at how she looking fine. She looking kind of fine. She looking, I don't care if she's a Pokemon or not, but she looking kind of fine. And you do see that this thing gets Moonblast. As I was talking about earlier, this is a fairy type that's gonna get Moonblast, and I hope that they all do. I can see Tapu Bulu not getting Moonblast just because it's a physical Pokemon. It gives off that physical vibe. But because you don't, like, what bull Pokemon do we have that is a special attacker that you know of? We have Tauros and we have Bufalon. They're both hella physical attackers. But going into this Misty Surge, it gives a Misty Terrain having the damage of Pokemon taken on the ground from Dragon type moves. preventing them from being afflicted with status. So this is nice and supportive. I can kind of see, oh no, we're not going to talk about that just yet. I can definitely see this thing getting some pretty decent offensive moves as well as utility. It'll probably be the special attacker out of all of the Tapus, aside from Koko. Aside from Tapu Koko, this thing will probably be another special attacker. Tapu Koko probably won't have a lot of HP. That's what I'm thinking. Tapu Koko probably won't have a lot of HP. This thing probably will. It'll probably have decent defenses as well. It'll be like a more balanced. Like I was saying, how Tapu Bulu is an off tank. Maybe this guy is gonna be a more like an offensive, an off offensive. Like it's gonna get some kind of good defense, some kind of good offensive stats, and all that good stuff. But then we see that the Tapus share a unique Z move, and I love how this chick is just hitting the moves. You see Tapu Koko, as I was saying, he looks like a fucking rooster. And then we see the Guardian of Alola, and it brings up this giant yellow avatar looking like something out of like fucking Power Rangers and shit. And she's like, you see this Probo Pass? Body it! Destroy it! Goodbye! And this right here gives the... We'll leave you there. This Z move does 75% of the target's remaining HP, I want to say. I want to say it's the remaining HP and not the... Yeah, it's 75% of the remaining HP, which kind of sucks because it's kind of a limiting Z move. Like, we see all of these Z moves doing all sorts of power, and like you see Catastrophica doing hella damage, you see Pulverizing Pancake doing hella damage, you see Stoked Spark Surfer doing hella damage, but then you see Guardian of Alola, and it's like it just does a percentage. So if there's a Pokemon that I'm up against and it's at 50% health, then it's only gonna drop down to probably like what, 25 to like 15% health. It's not gonna kill. That's what I want these Z moves to do, is kill. Fucking destroy them.